I think living fully alive for Christ means following His purpose and His plan for your life, which means at times stepping out of your comfort zone and following His purpose for your life, but living His will for your life and surrendering it all for His purpose.
So transformation for me is actually a change of everything that I thought or I wanted, and conforming it more to what Christ wants and how He thinks. So transformation, living a transformed life for me is a place that actually is more satisfying in so many ways, because there's a peace and a comfort that you have knowing that you're in God's will and that your place of existence is perfect.
An area where I felt God really transformed myself as well as my husband would be a few years ago. We went through a challenging time in our marriage, and God had to really step in and work on both of us, myself and my husband included, so we could be better people and better to each other in a marriage. And I felt the transforming power in that challenging time that we went through, and being able to overcome it and living a better and having a better marriage today.
God's transforming power in my life is like giving a car a full overhaul. It is not just one area. I've seen Him transform my relationships. I've seen transformation in my marriage. I've seen transformation in my belief structure. I've seen transformation in my appetites, the things that I have done before I really just fully submitted to Jesus Christ, needed to be changed. There are those like the rich young ruler that has done so many good things from the time they were youth, and the transformation for them might be a minimal thing. But I sort of follow in the footsteps of the Apostle Paul, where he says, I was the chief sinner. So transformation for me, and the transformation that I've experienced, is in every area of my life. It's just basically being more like Jesus and less like Peter. I'm experiencing true happiness, true joy. I'm excited to be alive. I'm excited to experience what God has for me in each and every day. There was times before I was transformed where I did stuff that would give me momentary happiness, but I wake up the next morning and I would be miserable trying to find the next thing to excite me. I think that the transformation that Christ gives you, when we talk about the peace that passes all understanding, there is a part of you that when you are in Christ, every day is exciting.
Well, it's changed my life because now I look at marriage differently. When God puts two people together, I realize now it's for a greater purpose. And sometimes it's not just for the human gratification of having each other as companionship, but there's a greater purpose that He wants to use us to do. And it speaks to our next phase in life, stepping into this new purpose, because I could not do this purpose, this next phase, without my husband. And we realize together God has called us to do what He's outlined for us to do. I would say if you focus with gratitude on what God has given you and how God has created you or made you, you will be able to easily find and move into that what God has made you for. In Ephesians 2:10 it says, we are created by God's workmanship to do good works in Christ Jesus, which He has prepared us to do, which means He has already prepared a purpose and a plan for us, and we were created for a reason. So it's finding that purpose and moving in it.
So if I was speaking to a believer, I would simply say, in order to pursue your more, just look at the Bible. It is filled with men that were not only at a place of knowing God, but constantly pursuing more. Case in point, I look at Abraham. God called him to pursue more. He became the father of our faith as we know it. I look at David. God called him to pursue more, and he became the greatest king that Israel has ever known. I look at Paul. God called him to pursue his more, and he wrote most of the New Testament. There's 1,000 examples in the Bible of pursuing more and the rewards and the satisfaction that comes from pushing deeper into God than you ever thought you could. I would encourage anyone, pursue your more. My wife and I are at the stage now where we are looking to pursue not just our more, but our most. And we'll see what God does.